everyone. Respected Chief Guest, Mr. Surendra Dighe. Our dear Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Revati Srinivasan. Vice Principals, Mrs. Chabukswar and Mrs. Gladys Kibrol. Section Heads, Senior Coordinators, Teachers, Parents, Grandparents, and my fellow Solonians. On behalf of the Junior Section, I, Kanchi Zog, welcome you to Virtual Anweshan 2020. Anweshan, exploration, investigation, research. For what? In pursuit of being a happy learner and finding meaning for the existence of things around us. It is an honor to have our chief guest, Mr. Surendra Dighe, on this special day, who has pioneered in instilling scientific mind in children at a very young age. Sir, having been inspired by you and others at a very early age, we all have been participating in this event called Anweshan, whose sole purpose is to nurture curiosity and scientific mind. Here, we present a part of a virtual science exhibition put up by the students of Standard 5 to Standard 7. Thomas Alva Edison, the greatest American inventor, said, "I haven't failed. I've found 10,000 ways that don't work." And also said, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain ways to succeed is always to try just one more time." That's what has been instilled in us in our school during our science classes, where we learn a lot by doing, experimenting and observing. Science is what we do to find out about the natural world, and it's an art too when used in creative ways after learning the facts. Well, do you think all these virtual exhibitions, classes would have been possible today without artificial satellites? We can't imagine our life, right? Come, let's explore this magical world of science. Thank you.
Hello, I, Karthik Karmakar, student of class 7C, will now perform an experiment to show the process of osmosis. The objective of performing this experiment is to show the process of osmosis with the help of a living system. Osmosis is a process by which water passes across the cell membrane depending on the solute concentration inside and outside the cell. For this experiment, we need 3 potatoes, 2 raw potatoes and a boiled potato, tray, salt, knife, peeler and water. Now let us begin with the experiment. As you can see, I have peeled all the 3 potatoes and made a cavity in the center of all the 3 potatoes. Now, put some salt in the cavity of the boiled potato and one of the raw potatoes. Keep the 3rd raw potato empty. Place all the 3 potatoes in the tray. Now, pour some water in the tray such as just submerge the potatoes in the water. Leave the setup for approximately 1 hour. After 1 hour, one can see that the salt in the raw potato becomes wet and some of it has dissolved, whereas the salt in the boiled potato remains as it is. There is no change in the potato in which no salt was put. This happens because the salt in the raw potato drains out water from the cells lining the cavity due to osmosis. These cells, in turn, drain out water from the adjoining cells, and this cycle continues to the outermost layer. The cells at the outermost layer absorb water from the water in the tray. This is what exactly happens in the roots. Plants keep a high solute concentration in their stems, which is used to initiate a pressure on their root hair cells that absorb water from the soil. Water does not get collected in the potato which has no salt because the solute concentration is less. There is no collection of water in the boiled potato because of the death of cells due to boiling. Hence, cells need to be alive for osmosis to take place. This explains the process of osmosis. Thank you.
Hello friends, today I am going to show you how to identify whether the given solution is acid or base with the help of purple cabbage. The materials we are going to use to perform the experiment are glasses, chopped purple cabbage, blender and a glass container with a strainer. We will also need some solutions like vinegar, tap water, solution made by soap, lemon juice and solution made by baking soda. Now we are going to add the cabbage solution into the solutions. So, as we can see the color change, the vinegar changed into a pink color, which means it is a strong acid. Tap water turned bluish purple, which means it is slightly basic but close to neutral. The soap solution turned a little greenish, which means it is a strong base. The lemon juice turned a bright red or pink, which means it is also a strong acid. The baking soda turned blue, which means it is a mild base. So now I am going to arrange it according to its pH value. The soap solution, which is the strongest base, the mild base, neutral, the mild acid, and the strong acid. Thank you.
Hi friends, my name is Ashmika Ghosh and I'm from class 6E. So today I'm going to perform a science experiment named Ice, Salt and String Magic. So for this experiment we need ice cubes, string and salt. So are you excited what's going to happen next? Me too. For that we have to take an ice cube and then place a string on top of it. Now on the string I'm going to sprinkle some salt. Now we need to wait for a minute. So this is after a minute. Ooh, this is the magic. The ice is sticking with the string. Reason: when we put the salt lowers the melting point of the ice. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Shivam Shetty from 5th E and today I am going to show you the experiment Escaping Colors. For this experiment we need some milk, food coloring, cotton ball, rubber and soap. First, I will put some food coloring. I will use red, yellow, green. Now I will take a rubber and put a dab of soap. Now let's see what happens. See the colors, how it's coming in a beautiful pattern. Now let's check it what happens with a cotton ball. See how the swirls of colors, it's so awesome. Now let's learn the science behind this experiment. When liquid soap is added to milk with drops of food coloring on the surface, the soap reduces the surface tension of the milk and reacts with the fat. This interaction causes the fat particles in the milk to move and create a swirl of colors. This experiment you can try it at your home too. Hope you like my experiment. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Dhyan Vanera from Standard 6C and today I am going to show you an experiment from the Archimedes principle of flotation. So let's start. I have two pieces of foil paper of the same size. With the first foil paper, I have made a cube and with the second one I have made a boat. Which one do you think will float and which one do you think will sink? So let's start with the cube first. As you can see, the cube has sunk. Now it's the boat's turn. Did you just see that the boat is floating? This is exactly how huge ships that weigh tons float on water. Now I will make the cube float on water without changing its shape. So let's start. Did you see that? I have some toymen too. Let us make them float. Amazing! The boat is still floating. This is because the ship displaces enough water to hold both of them. Have you ever noticed that when you dive in water, you feel light? This is because the water has an upward pressure known as the buoyance force. This is how the ships that carry restaurants, people, swimming pool, etc. float. This was discovered by an old Greek scientist, yes, really old, named Archimedes, and he named this experiment as Archimedes' principle of flotation. Archimedes' principle of flotation says that the upward force known as buoyance is equal to the weight displaced by the fluid. Thank you and have a great day ahead.
Respected teachers, the title of my experiment is Structure of a Rocket and Science of its Propulsion. This is a model of PSLV, also called as Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, and this is a model of GSLV Mark III, also called as Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle, made by Indian Space Research Organization, also called as ISRO. The different parts of a rocket are nose cone, which is at the top of the rocket where satellites are kept or astronauts are seated if a manned mission. Then comes the fuel tank and the oxygen tank. These are the extra boosters which help for takeoff. Then comes the combustion chamber and the nozzle. Rockets are governed by Newton's 3 laws of motion. When the rocket is static on the launch pad, it will stand still until an external force is applied to it, which is the burning of propulsion fuel. Then comes the second law of motion, which states the force required to move an object is inversely proportional to its mass. So, GSLV, being a heavier rocket than PSLV, will require more fuel to propel out of Earth's gravitational force. Then, when the fuel is burnt, it creates a push on the rocket upwards against the gravitational force. Here I would like to conclude that Newton's laws of motion help us understand the motion of every object in the universe. Thank you.
My name is Sai Savan. I am in 6E. I am from junior section. Today I am going to perform density experiment. So let's start. First I have poured some honey in this glass as it is the most dense of all of the liquids. Now I am pouring some liquid dish soap as it has lower density than honey. It will float above it. Now I am putting some colored water to differentiate. Now I am pouring some oil. Oil has lower density than water, so it will float above it. So now I am going to check some objects' density. So first it's beads. Let's check its density. As you can see, it is near the water layer as it has lower density. Let's take a toy coin. As you can see, it floats above the oil layer, as it has also low density. Now I will put a nail. As you can see, it sinks to the bottom as it has high density. Thank you.
Wow! For starters, this educational opportunity through Anweshan provides a good platform to explore. Bravo, young scientists! Good afternoon, everyone. I, Dhruv Sarda, take you to the next part of the session. The word science probably brings to mind many different pictures. In school, science may sometimes seem like a collection of facts and formulae listed in a textbook, but that's only a small part of the story. Just as importantly, science is also a process of discovery that allows us to link facts into logical and comprehensive understanding of the world around us. I'm seriously fascinated by every new experiment and by all this chemistry. So, dear audience, fasten your seatbelts and let's set on a voyage to a different world of amazing discovery.
Hello everyone, I am here to present my project of free electricity generator with the help of the model made by me. So let's start with the demo of the project. When the wind passes through the blades experience a lift due to the aerodynamic airfoil shape. Rotating the unit aligns it towards the incoming wind direction when the wind changes, like this. The rotation of the blades is transmitted through the gear train and couplings to the generator that generates electricity. The electricity is then transmitted through the wires to the grid and then is distributed to households and industries. In this project, the electricity is generated through the wind and is freely available. So, we can call this as free electricity generator. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Ranvi and for Anweshan I will be performing an experiment in which we will learn to prepare carbon dioxide, we will learn its properties and understand its application. So let's begin. Here I have taken a bottle and filled it with vinegar. Over here I have taken a balloon and filled it with baking soda. Now we will attach this balloon to the bottle. Now I will drop the baking soda in the vinegar. As you can see, the balloon inflates automatically. When we add vinegar with baking soda, the hydrogen ions in the vinegar react with the sodium and bicarbonate ions in the baking soda, resulting in sodium acetate and water, which we find in this bottle, and carbon dioxide, which I have collected in this balloon. I have got two balloons, one which is filled with carbon dioxide and the other one which is filled with normal air. So now let's do a drop test and let's see which one is heavier. This proves that carbon dioxide is more denser and heavier than surrounding air. I have taken some vinegar in this glass. I will put baking soda in it. I will light the candle and I will bring this glass near to the candle. Let us see what happens. As you saw, when I brought the glass near to the flame extinguished because the carbon dioxide from the glass cuts off the oxygen supply of the flame. This proves that carbon dioxide can also be used as a fire extinguisher. I hope you all liked my experiment and learned something new from it. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my project is on optical inversion. The apparatus which I am going to use are transparent glass, piece of paper with arrow mark and water. Take an empty glass, draw an arrow facing my left side and paste it behind. water, it slows down, causing it to change the direction is called refraction. When light enters a more dense substance, it bends more towards the normal line. That's why image looks reverse. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am making a fire extinguisher using acid-base chemical reaction. Take a bottle with a nozzle and fill it with vinegar. Take tissue and place baking powder. Make a parcel and tie it with string. Suspend it in the bottle such that it does not touch the vinegar. Our fire extinguisher is ready. Now wear safety glasses for demonstration purpose. Shake the bottle and light fire. Now open the nozzle and direct it towards fire. Fire extinguishes. Do you know the reason why? Because acetic acid and sodium bicarbonate react to form sodium acetate and carbonic acid. Carbonic acid is unstable and decomposes to water and carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide starves the fire of the oxygen and fire extinguishes. Thank you.
Today I am going to perform an experiment which will prove the indicator properties of turmeric. The chemicals used in this experiment are turmeric, which is proposed indicator, soap solution, which is basic in nature, and lemon, which contains citric acid and is acidic. The apparatus used in this experiment are a lemon squeezer and these vessels. We should always ensure wearing protective equipment like goggles and gloves. The procedure for this experiment is, firstly, I will take some amount of soap solution in the experimental vessel. Now I will put some amount of turmeric in it. Here we can see that the solution has turned red. This is a basic solution as soap solution is basic in nature. Now I would put some amount of drops of lemon in the solution which will make it neutral. Here we can see that the solution turns yellow. Now I would put some amount of more drops of lemon in this, which would make it acidic as lemon is acidic in nature. Here again we can see that the solution is again yellow. Thus I conclude that turmeric is an indicator which gives red color in base and yellow in acidic and neutral solution.
Hello, today I am going to show you an easy experiment of air pressure. To perform this experiment, we need some materials like cold water, hot water, conical funnel, bottle and this prepared cap. So let's begin. Firstly, pour this hot water inside this water bottle safely. I am wearing gloves for safety because the water is hot. Now you can pour it back again into the mug and close it to create a partial vacuum inside this and to trap hot air. Now you can see that the water is going very steadily and very fastly inside this water bottle because of the vacuum. Hello everyone, today I am going to demonstrate the function, the refractive errors and the correction of refractive errors of the human eye. Let's study the gross anatomy of the eye with the help of this model. This is the sclera, this is the cornea. This is the iris and this is the retina. The human lens is situated behind the iris. Light rays from the object pass through this lens and a real inverted image is obtained on the retina. This is how we can see the object. Now, let's study about the refractive errors of the eye. For demonstration purpose, this is the object, this is the human lens and this is the retina. We are also going to need concave lens and convex lens. So, let's get started. So, this is the normal vision and as you can see, a real inverted image is formed on the retina. In case of myopia, the image is formed in front of the retina instead of falling on the retina. So, we use concave lens to correct myopia. Yes, this is the corrected image. In case of hypermetropia, the image falls behind the retina instead of falling on the retina. So, we use convex lens to correct hypermetropia. This is the corrected image. Myopia usually occurs at young age, while hypermetropia occurs after the age of 40 years.
Let me quote Sir William Osler. In science, the credit goes to the man who convinces the world, not to the man to whom the idea first occurs. Homi Jahangir Bhabha was an Indian nuclear physicist, founding director, and professor of physics at the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. Dr. Homi Bhabha Bal Vaidyanik competition is conducted by the Greater Bombay Science Association from the year 1981 to encourage students to take interest in science, to inculcate scientific attitude, to search for science talent in students, motive them towards basic sciences, as well as to clear the scientific concepts among children. We Solonians have been actively participating in this exam for many years and have won many accolades too. Here, we present our latest winners for the Homi Bhabha Bal Vaidyanik competition for the year 2019. Their journey was long, but well worth it. Let's witness it.
Hi, I am Aritya Bhate of class 7G. I have won a bronze medal in the Homi Bhabha Balvaigyanik competition. This competition begins with a written test. Students qualifying in the written test are eligible to appear for the practical test, and those qualifying in the practical test are eligible to appear for the final Viva round. In the final round, the student is expected to submit a project report on the given topic to 3 panel interviewers who will assess him on his project and his knowledge on the subject. I made a project on the topic wet waste management and I named it From Garbage to Garden. Here, I conducted a study on various methods of wet waste disposal which can be adopted in our households, in our localities and in various industries, thereby reducing the garbage output and saving our environment. Now let us come to the domestic scale. This drum-like machine is known as the Avirat Patra. It helps in converting wet waste generated in the households into compost. Wet waste generated in the house is shredded and put in this machine, which is rotated 50 times a day. Compost falls from the perforations in this machine. It is easy to operate and thus we can have it in our homes. This picture is of a quick composter. Composters are basically large machines which are used to convert wet waste produced on a large scale into compost. I saw this machine being used in my uncle's company in Pune. This machine converted wet waste into compost within 18 days.
and the company gave this compost free of cost to the needy farmers. Later, I also conducted a survey in my own locality of about 50 respondents to test their awareness about the ill effects of garbage generation and the various methods of waste disposal. Although the percentage of awareness was very high, the percentage of readiness to adopt these techniques was really low, and only 39% of the total people were ready to adopt these methods into their own households. When this percentage increases, we will be able to achieve our goal of a garbage-free environment. Thank you.
Hello, I am Pratham Makwana and I won a silver medal in the Standard 6 Homi Bhabha Balvajani exam. I want to thank my teachers for preparing me for this exam and the school for giving me an opportunity to share my experience. My project for the final round of this exam was titled Join the Fight Against Global Warming, One Pedal at a Time. I studied the use of bicycle as a feasible option for local city travel so as to reduce CO2 emissions and global warming. The Thane Municipal Corporation has started an app-based cycle sharing system called as Rides. One of the cycle stands of this service is right outside our school. I gathered data about actual usage of these cycles when coming to and going home from school. I also interviewed the manager for the cycle sharing app and found out how the app works. Through a survey, I found out who used these cycles, at what time of the day, for what purposes, and also for how long. One of the major findings of my survey was the safety factor while riding bicycle in traffic. So I interviewed a senior inspector of Maharashtra RTO about this, and I found out more about road discipline for cyclists. Finally, I made a calculation and found out that a car running on petrol emits 1 kg of CO2 for every 4 km it travels. Thus, a highly individual and local action of riding a cycle can have a major global impact. With reference to preparation for the project, be sure to include lots of photos, diagrams, and pictures in your project. In the end, I just want to say all the best to all of you.
Good day everyone, I am Sania Suhas and I won the bronze medal in the 6th standard Homi Bhabha Young Scientist examination. I would like to talk about the third and final stage where we had to make a project on any remarkable local effort for environment conservation. Considering today's issues of deforestation and global warming, I chose an afforestation project by the Mulund Microforest team, which uses the Miyawaki forest creation technique. This technique is a Japanese method which was developed by a famous ecologist, Akira Miyawaki, where a large number of trees of indigenous species of varied heights are planted very close to each other after enriching the soil with organic manure. This creates a multi-layered dense forest. This is perfect for cities where there is lack of open spaces. I myself participated in the plantation process to gain first-hand experience. I also took detailed interviews of the MMF team and the BMC official who is in charge of the afforestation project to understand their journey and know the pros and cons of the Miyawaki technique. Since the microforest also conserves biodiversity, I compiled information regarding the biodiversity like various species of birds, butterflies, insects, etc. I also visited other sites in Thane and Mumbai and then gathered information and compiled my project. The preparation for the exam and the project kindled passion for science and environment in me, and I hope the students who would be appearing for this exam in future take this as an opportunity to explore the world of science. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Chia Patil. Today, on this wonderful day, I am going to share you about my experiences and my achievement of bronze medal in Homi Bhabha exam. We were given project topic, our conservation of environment. And I chose the topic, give a house to homeless sparrows. I chose this topic because this topic was very close to my heart. I loved watching birds and animals. So I decided I'm going to do a project on sparrows. Day 1 of project. I started learning how to use all the waste material, recycle them and make feeders and nests like this using waste bottles and waste plates. Day 2. I found some places where sparrows usually come and installed some feeders and nests there. Day 3. I started researching about sparrows, their behavior, their nesting, their time of eating and etc. On the 4th day, I listed all the information whatever I know. Gradually, day by day, more and more sparrows came, as you can see in the pictures right here. And these are the feeders which I made. Then I convinced all my friends to install these nests and feeders at their house. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all my friends, teachers, parents and grandparents for their support. I would also thank our school, Srimati Sulochana Devi Singhania School and our dear principal ma'am who gave me an opportunity to do this wonderful project. Without their support, the journey of Homi Baba and achieving bronze medal would be impossible. Thank you.
Hello everybody, I am Anweshan. Today I am sharing my experience with the Homi Baba Biovigyanik Competition 2019. I got the bronze medal for this project on MLPs, a growing threat to our environment. My index contains the introduction, statement of necessity, objectives, hypothesis, project plan. In procedure we have interactions, surveys and field visits, followed by observations, data analysis, conclusions and accordingly remedial measures. These pictures show how MLPs are an integral part of our life. This is the survey form we made and handed out in the residential area, school and neighborhood. These pictures show how MLPs are spread everywhere, in gardens, public places, roads, etc. This is an interaction with Mr. Shankar Patole, who is the Assistant Municipal Commissioner for Solid Waste Management in TMC. This is an interaction with an RSL Foundation, who is an NGO. For remedial measures, some cement kilns burn them and convert them into cement. This is most used by cement companies. These are some government initiatives which the government has taken.
Hello friends, my name is Aditya Gondarekar. I am from Standard 7F. I have received the silver medal for Dr. Homi Bhabha Young Scientist Examination in Standard 6. Today, I am here to brief you about the project work, that is the last level of the examination. The topic that we were given was the study of remarkable local efforts for environmental conservation. Since the disposal of plastic waste is a big problem for the environment, I chose my project as Recycle Plastic for a Life Fantastic. This is how my project looks. For this project, I studied two organizations from Thane, Urja Foundation and Samartha Bharat Vyaspeeth. Both of these organizations are involved in the process of collecting plastic waste and recycling it into polyfuel. I met various authorities, members and volunteers of both these organizations to understand their functioning better. I also made an on-site visit to the plastic waste collection drive and the plant where plastic is recycled into polyfuel, which is located in Kopri, Thane. I conducted surveys in my society to understand the awareness of people about disposal of plastic waste and to educate them about these two organizations and their work. I gathered a lot of information from various websites. Then, I compiled all the information that was available to me in the prescribed format and submitted the project. According to me, what the examiners look for is the relevance of the project made to the topic given and the depth and extent of the study done by the student. The project work takes a lot of hard work and time. Hence, I would suggest you to start early. Wishing you all the best. Thank you.
The aim of Anweshan was to provide an online platform to those students who are inclined towards scientific inquiry and see things through with scientific attitude. Today, the young scientists thoroughly enjoyed the process, and that is very clear from the enthusiasm and zeal with which they performed the experiments. They did a fabulous job with the limited time and resources they had during the pandemic situation. This lockdown did not lock down their scientific spirit. In fact, their overwhelming responses were very much appreciated. Before we conclude this session, I would also like to brief my friends that what you saw today was just a glimpse of a large picture. We will be back in September with new ideas, and so this is not the end but the beginning of our scientific journey. Gear up, my dear scientists, to fill the scientific bulletin with much more exciting news and discoveries. Here, I also would like to give a word of caution from the teachers that states, please do not try any experiment without adult supervision. And finally, I would like to say thank you everyone for being here and becoming a part of the virtual Anweshan 2020. Thank you.